Karen, what have you seen at home? Tell us about it.
Okay, I have seen at home a Netflix limited series called Devil in Ohio.
Right, tell us about this.
And it's an eight-parter. I don't know if it's based. I think it's an original drama. It doesn't say it's based on a novel or anything. And it stars Emily Deschanel. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her surname. And she basically is a psychiatrist who one day, while she's working in a local hospital, she works in a hospital dealing with trauma patients, and one day a young girl is brought in with wounds that would suggest that she has escaped from some sort of cult. Namely, she has a pentagram carved in her naked back, and this wound is obviously fresh, and she is in a state of trauma. So the story starts where basically she takes this basically again, sorry, where she in a essence brings this girl into her own home because she can't find a foster home for her, and she sort of assimilates her in with her own children. She's got three daughters of her own.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them are at high school, similar age to this girl. You won't know exact age, but she's like 15, 14, no, older. I'd say she's like 16, possibly 17. So the top end of sort of high school,
Yeah.
where and she and then it's a seemingly sort of perfect life. She's a doctor. Her husband's has got his own property development business. She's got a postdoc daughter who is really into musicals. She's got one who's really into photography, and then her oldest daughter is sort of looking to go to university to study one of the sort of tech fields
Yeah.
of study. And then as this girl is introduced, it's like sort of dropping a pebble into a pond, and then you see ripples. And then as the story goes on, things start to unravel for her in her home life and in her personal life. And part of you have to determine whether it's the influence of this girl that's causing this, or whether the more they try to find out, the more involved she's getting in the cult, which has basically raised this young girl, and to the point where she's entirely indoctrinated, she's entirely part of this cult. And when she leaves, um, does she leave the question you have to ask is, does she leave the cult behind, or does she bring it with her into this seemingly, you know,
All right. You see, now, one of these days, I would love to see one of these shows or films or whatever it is where somebody has a seemingly perfect life, brings somebody else into the family, and nothing happens, and
yeah,
everything is just fine.
they just have a happy life. Yeah.
They just have a happy life. Just have a happy life. Okay, cool. So that is the setup. I think we can figure out what's kind of. You can figure out some of what's going to happen. Like, okay, lovely, lovely life. Not going to stay lovely. There's probably going to be family secrets that come out. What did you think about this?
I thought it was well done. Again, I don't, as you say, I don't think it will come as a surprise that this sort of unsettling presence starts to show the factors that are existing in this home. I think that's almost predictable. But I thought they handled it quite well. Because it's involving a satanic cult. The suggestion of the occult is present, and so some seemingly innocuous events, you in your own mind you're thinking, oh, is that, is there something other than like crows flying about? Are they just birds,
Oh
or are
yeah.
they symbolic of something else? So they sort of suggest sort of symbolism and elements of the other in it, but I think they did it very well. And there are different elements of there's a police officer who's investigating the cult because of this girl who turned up sort of effectively mutilated, and it's tying in with other incidents that have been sort of quiet, hushed up because of how influential this cult is in the local area. It's
Mm-hmm.
rural Ohio, which I know nothing about whatsoever, but I get the feeling that rural Ohio is rural, that these communities can be quite isolated, and so they can live within their own rules and be largely left to it.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting film. I enjoyed it. Well acted. Got you. I watched the whole thing. So again, normally these films, I think, oh, do I want to carry on? Well, I thought, no, I'm interested enough to keep going with this. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. Well done.
Cool. How many stars?
Uh, okay. I want to give it a high 3.5. I think it's verging on 4, but for me, because there is that element of we might have seen something not exactly like this before, but we more or less know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think um, it doesn't quite get to the 4 territory for me, so I'd certainly give it a strong 3, a 3.5.
All right. Cool. Good stuff. Good.